everybody, welcome to day 3 of the Sell Your Soul campaign. Here we are at Deoksugung, which is one of 5 palaces that remain within the city of Seoul. And I have a lovely interpreter who's going to be walking me around and giving me a tour of the palace so we can get some details as to the history of the place and exactly what certain monuments and structures in here mean.
Okay. And you see some animals, they are also imaginary, called Hachi. Hachi was recently chosen as the new symbol of Seoul.
What is the symbol of the queen?
Symbol of the queen. A lot of symbols, kind of flower.
Flower. Okay. So we just learned that there is one king and one queen at a time, but of course the king is allowed to have concubines. The record in Korea was 12. So slightly lower than in other countries, but still fairly impressive.
Adamantly opposed to the foreign pressure to have foreign relations.
Right.
But in the late 19th century, Joseon dynasty had no choice but to open its closed doors for foreign countries, for have trades.
So I just learned that the way royalty faces is very important in Korea. The king generally sat on his throne facing south, and to his left were civilian officials, and to his right were the military. And the left is regarded as more important in Korean society because it indicates a new beginning, such as the sunrise. So here in Korea, civilian officials are held in higher regard than military officials because of their high moral character, rather than emphasis on military strength. So while both are very well respected, it seems that whoever was seated to the east of the king was ranked higher in the government. Very interesting. So all around the palace, the floor is granite slabs, which are very uneven and a rough surface, but it was done for several reasons. First, it was done so that people walked more slowly and they stepped deliberately and, you know, with a kind of like a thoughtful mind and not rushing through the day. Second, it was done to prevent people from slipping during heavy rains, which anybody who went to my university knows that the flat walkway between one building and another is just a disaster when it's raining and you're in flip-flops. So something like this is very well appreciated. And third, it's because it kind of just blends into the natural environment, and it's actually quite beautiful. It's not evenly matched. It does not resemble the gleaming marble of Rome or the slick, skyscrapers in New York City, but it's a natural feeling, and it's very pretty. She wants me to show her the money, and I got a lot of it in my pocket. So this is a 10,000 won Korean banknote.
You see the 5 mountain peaks and the sun and moon. Watching the
5 mountain peaks, sun and moon. And if we look at the silk screen within the main entrance hall, it's exactly the same. It's beautiful.
That's the emblem of the king.
It's yin and yang.
Yes. And what's the big difference of this building compared to other buildings?
It's not colorful.
That's right. It has no color because
I was right. I love Jeopardy.
And this building is where King Seonjo, the 40th king of the dynasty, stayed for 16 years.
Only the royalty gets a splash of color, apparently. So since this is the color of my house at home, I guess we are part of the common people. That's okay. In a past life, I was definitely a queen. So we just learned that kings and queens each had their separate quarters in which to live. And I said that when you're wealthy, you can afford the space. So it's not just a Korean thing, it's worldwide. The wealthier you are, the more space you have to separate yourself from others.
From other buildings. It's a kind of a fusion building.
It does, and it has more gold.
And the Western style. Added Western style
This is the building where the king came to sit outside and observe the garden and have parties with his friends, listen to music, and drink coffee. So I said that this is the building that I would most likely be found in because that is definitely my style. So here we are outside of the temple and we're gonna watch the changing of the guards. Check it out, it's phenomenal. It's really impressive. Pictures with the guards, which I'm excited about. But I am so cold. I haven't been this cold in a really long time. Okay.
How was the tour?
The tour was excellent. I learned a lot. I felt like royalty with my fellow queen.